You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Welcome to Reza Riffs live at the Rec Room. We have two audience members. Hi.
Hi, ladies. Yay!
All right. This is fun. We're live with, let's first introduce the show. I'm Keith Reza. This is my podcast. It's called Reza Riffs. My trusty sidekick, the one and only.
The only, one and only Alan Lee.
You can tell he's like jumping his lines. He used to be really quick like that. The age is catching up.
Director now. Excuse me, Mr. Tarantino. I'm sorry that I fucked up like that.
And then we have our special guest who's been on the podcast before, but he's now the first live Reza Rifter, Pablo Francisco.
Live right here. There's always that explosion.
And Pablo just destroyed the Rec Room, sold out show. How was that?
It was beautiful, man. The crowd was good, intimate. It felt right. Felt good.
It felt good.
Felt good. All the energy you can feel. Everybody drinking for that. You did good too, my friend. It was all good. Good lineup.
Victor's now running, and we already started. We'll
Do you want me to sit on this stage?
You can do whatever you want, brother.
Come on, get on the stage.
Third co-host is Victor Pacheco. Did I say it right? Pacheco.
Pacheco.
I think that makes me racist if I say Pacheco.
No, you did it like a
Keep yourself in check.
Victor,
Richard
you guys share with Alan Lee.
Pacheco, like we were explaining.
Hey, you guys share with Alan Lee.
I've shared. We share. This is a communal thing.
Well, Victor wants to talk. You guys share.
You can share now.
We have to share the same mic.
I'm so out of breath right now, just trying to get on stage. Everything's good, man.
Excellent. Cool. And now I gotta finish introducing the next. He's another former Rifter. He's been on the show before. One of my best friends. We got the huge fight, and now we're best friends.
Oh, Chris.
Richard Chassler.
Richard Chastler.
Ding, 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 in this corner.
And then we have two beautiful ladies in the back who came for the show, right?
Yes, they're very attractive.
Yeah. Holy Lord.
She likes me. She's looking at me. Come on.
You might want to call the husbands to come back.
They're bullying.
They're bowling.
We're playing video games.
Oh,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
All right.
I love
So,
that snooty.
Pablo, first question I have for you, because the first time I interviewed you, I kept calling you Pablo.
Pablo.
Yeah, they fed him soup, and now he became Pablo.
That sounds like like a sexual name.
Look at those assistant. Pablo soup. That's right. It's homage from Johnny Depp and Pablo to Pablo. Sold in mustard and diapers. Pablo.
Male supermodel.
Yeah, the anal supermodel getting Pablo.
But in my defense, I think it was because I didn't know you then. Like, I knew you, but I didn't know you. And now that I know your name's not Pablo.
You better watch out, my man. Pablo, he wants to talk to you. Listen to me, you fucking monkey. Pablo. Pablo, man. His name is Pablo.
Pablo Francisco's in the house.
Yeah, that's the name, Pablo Francisco Gerben. But I just stick with the Pablo Francisco. That's it's an easier thing. German. You know, get a little German extract. But
Pablo Francisco. Yes, the cookies, the coffee.
You've been doing a lot of podcasts lately. You've been doing the Joey Diaz like once every 6 months.
Days, that's right.
I got some things on Trump. I got some things on, what happened in Lincoln back in the day, You was selling squares, sparkly books, but yeah, Joey Diaz, love the guy.
I love him too. But he always has the same fucking drugstore, you know?
When I was your age, ookity cook on the street, be quiet.
I was with edibles with fucking George Washington. It's just for Delaware, and I fell out of the boat.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you. When I was out doing the dough, I was ookity cookity cook.
Okay. I had a pound of weed in my pocket. It was weighing me down. I couldn't swim. George was trying to pull me back.
Oh yes,
I was slowing down a revolutionary
war.
Yeah, that's right. I was in the war too.
He knows everything.
So what's what?
He doesn't look like he's 56 years old, though, cocksucker. Let me tell you.
And then
Let me tell you, all right?
brought to you by Johnny Suppository. When it comes out now, I can go, you know, you're filling the suppository, go up there, come out, get your
Suppositories.
You know, it is hot on stage. Everyone performed tonight, except I didn't sweat. Everyone sweated, but now I'm sweating. What
Yes,
is
sir.
it?
You know what? Because you're looking hot. That's right.
Yeah.
You're hot. Robert's hot. Everyone's hot. You're hot.
All you fellas are hot.
Yeah, he's going to talk about politics. We're going to learn about Proposition 82. But right now, let's go to Jenny with what's in my ass. Okay, so let's go back and go over that.
I'm here at the local school council meeting, and
Yeah.
there's something is in my ass.
You're
It's an eraser.
looking hot.
Let me check first.
You're looking hot. We'll be right back with Governor Chihuahua.
Now, Pablo, I wanted to ask you. Let's talk about the great Victor Pacheco for a second. So,
Don't you have to say his name like Victor, Pacheco,
Pacheco.
Pacheco.
No,
Oh, it's Victor Pacheco.
Yes, yeah. What's
It's Pacheco. Let's talk about Victor's one of my best friends, and he wanted to open for you because you're his comic hero, and he wanted to know how was his comedy in your opinion.
I like it very much. I like the fact that he uses his facial expressions very well. I like that when he gets romantic, he talks about the Titanic. You're gonna Caprio that ass. And then, he's gonna get chilly in here.
Oh, here comes the iceberg. Good night.
Keep your attention, I swear to God.
Did you just give me 3 tags? Did you just give me 3 tags? Can I use those?
Wherever we are.
And then people are gonna be like, hey, you're ripping off Pablo. You're ripping off. I'm like, he gave me those tags.
True story. One rubber snack. He's a true history. He was on the boat. And when he was singing, he took a little bug of ice.
Now, Victor, you have a great Pablo story, right? About
Oh, well, okay, so we had Pablo on a live Zoom show.
Right.
what's it
No
called?
idea Pablo was on the live Zoom show. But before the live Zoom show, I told Pablo, hey, if you want to heckle any of the comics on the Zoom show, be my guest. As a matter of fact, heckle me if you're on there, because I'm thinking Pablo isn't going to be on the Zoom show and I'm on. And I'm the comic that goes on before the Q&A, before Pablo does material. And I'm doing material and some black guy's heckling me. And it's not a black guy, it's Pablo heckling me. And I'm just like, hey, listen, this isn't about you. And then I had no idea it was you. And then there was a woman, there was like a bunch of people laughing at me, making an asshole out of myself because I had no idea I was talking to you.
Black Lives Matter. It's a good thing Vince has that microphone, or we would never be able to hear him.
I'm excited.
That's not the story I heard. I heard the story. You did the Zoom, right? And then before it was your set, you started going on, and they're like, Pablo,
Oh, yeah, we haven't
you're not on
started
yet.
yet. We got hitting all the jokes and possibly good. Probably haven't gone on yet. Oh shit, rewind myself. All right, let's go and do it again. But yeah, that's fun. Trying the new jokes, trying to fuck around, and Black Lives Matter.
The best was I was like, Pablo, we were in correspondence, at least 4 or 5 messages.
Right.
I thought I was clear.
Right.
And then when we get on the Zoom call, you're like, hey, is this a cameo? I'm like, Pablo, I'm open for you. We had this conversation, at least we're going back and forth, at least 5 times each. And then you're like, oh, how come? Because Pablo went off for 5 minutes of doing straight stand-up. Me and my co-producer were laughing our asses off because it was brilliant comedy. And then my co-producer was like, hey, Pablo, hey, but your sound works. Hey, can you check back at 8:45 p.m. even though it's 7:15 right now? And then Pablo's all like, wait, this isn't a cameo? And we're like, no, dude, I'm sorry. You're like, why did you let me go? And why did you let me go? We're like, Pablo, you're fucking hilarious. Why would we stop you from also, we did try to stop you.
Yeah,
there was like, we could not stop you. But also, we were laughing our ass. I was like, dude, this is hilarious.
And we're Latino too, so there's a lot of there's a lot of Zoom squares.
Yeah.
The big flower, they put a family. Here's a story.
Zoom has a way of sucking your actual memory out of your brain if you're a working comedian.
Right.
Because the whole time you're sitting there going, what the fuck am I doing?
Hey, Pablo, here's an audience.
Who is it? The guy's in the room with you.
Yeah,
I always say my line about it is doing Zoom comedy is like getting a blowjob from the ugliest person you've ever seen. I mean, you got the blowjob.
Oh,
right?
so you got a
but you
blowjob
don't really
from my
want to
dad.
tell anybody. about it.
Right, yeah. They saw on Zoom. That's a good fucking yeah.
But if that hooker paid you, though, you'd brag, though, right?
That
That fucking ugly ass hooker paid me to fuck.
Good God.
Right? You know what?
How did it go there?
Pablo fucked like a champion. That's what happened.
Yeah, but they didn't get paid, man, until I called them like 8 times and shit.
No, man, that's still my $40.
Now, before we move on to Richard Chassler, I have one more question about Victor. Because I've been doing comedy for a long time, so I can kind of see, like, not necessarily maybe the styles or, like, you know, but and you worked with this comic, too, for a long time. He reminds me of a young Freddie.
Yeah, I would say that.
Asparagus?
Yeah.
Asparagus?
Soda.
Freddie Asparagus.
Oh, Freddie Soto.
Yeah.
I do love drugs. Drugs are great. You know, what did he OD on? Was it barbiturates and opiates?
I have no idea.
Yeah. He was his best friend.
No, all due respect.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie Soto. Rest in peace, a brilliant
no.
comic. Hold on, what was the name of that special? You
We
guys
got Three Amigos. Yeah,
my brother owns that.
Freddie Soto was great.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think it was an aneurysm or something.
Yeah.
Brain aneurysm.
But it was induced.
Aneurysm.
It was induced by drugs. All due respect, may he rest in peace.
Right. Okay.
But
Really.
like I'm like a drug aficionado, and like I try to make because like right now a lot of people are dying from fentanyl overdose.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
You just offered us fentanyl.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't.
of course you did.
You said you wanted some LSD.
I said LSD. Like surgic acid.
$5.
No, I just want to just be able to be one with the universe with you guys, and maybe make a fucking.
I think you want a funeral, Paul.
No,
That's what I think.
I'm gonna be in a funeral probably soon, but that's unrelated.
Do I need to tell jokes at your funeral?
I think he's got a scouting.
Is this an intervention? Is this an intervention?
Intervention. That happened to me. Intervention. Shit. They should call it fucking. They should have someone in intervention, that TV show, or fucking with drug rehab with Dr. Drew. Have a guy who just like fucks with people. Like, oh, get some shit. I got some. Are you serious? No, just kidding. What the hell, man? That's right. We put a mole in every rehab. Hey, man, want some chips? Little. Come on, we're good. Oh, dude, I'm just kidding.
So the answer to that question is, Victor, you're in good company, man. You got.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I tried my hardest. There was like a lot of white people staring at me, and like sometimes, yeah,
Look
dude.
at the stage.
Pablo doesn't see colors. Pablo just sees like a bunch of smiles and shit because everybody loves Pablo. All due respect.
Well, you know.
But then everyone's looking at me like, who the fuck's this Samoan lesbian woman with a beard?
Samoan-
Like, who the
Samoan
fuck? Why do I have to listen to him or her or whatever the fuck they identify as?
The Guinness pictures are next week.
I'm do it. Hey, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna suck a cock just to be on that show.
Do you want to say something? You're like trying to take it on.
No, this is such a great show, and
Well, you're doing this to yourself.
Water is great. I'm overwhelmed.
That's what they call a Mexican. You can do it. Mexican, not Mexican.
Si se puede.
Sí se puede. Entonces, bueno. Different type.
Alan, is your real name Alan Lee, or is it?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, no, that's
Or are you just too lazy to say?
no,
for us?
it's
What is
Alan
it?
Lee. It's
Oh, it
Alan
is.
Lee. Yeah. I
Alan Lee.
don't have my social security card.
He was born Javier Centrune. That's right, Bruce Lee.
My name Alan Lee. My
You don't know Alan Lee?
I am Alan Lee.
Alan Lee. You know who Alan Lee? You know my rich.
Speaking of Bruce Lee, he was actually trained by Bruce Lee's Jedi Master.
Well, who's that? Legit man?
It's Danny Nosanto.
Danny Nosanto.
Santo.
He used fake nunchucks and gave me that. Can you believe that?
He gave
I learned the real way, but no. Danny Nosanto. He was in the one with Steven Seagal. I'm looking for Richie. Get him sticks. Sticks.
Sticks went on to do porn.
Yeah, well, sticks.
Sticks went on to do porn.
You want that?
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Come on, kick me. Let's do it.
That's right. He's playing all basketball songs like Larry Bird.
Hey, man, come on.
And then,
Sit on, Richie. Sit on. Come on, Patsy.
and then it brings me to the next question. Chastler.
Yes, sir.
What did you think of Richard Chassler's set?
Oh, incredible. It's a non-stop, right? If you got ADD, don't worry about it, man. Because he's going to take you to every topic nice and beautifully, segues, just great. You can't write for him. You can't because it's a whole new style of itself. He ninjutsu. You take martial art, you put it together, you make your own Jeet Kune Do. That's what he does.
You know what Chastler told me before I went up?
What?
He gives me a set list. He's like, tell these jokes.
Oh. Okay, well, it's Dustin Whitebar on the phone.
It's Dustin.
Hold on for a minute. Hey, Dustin, what's happening? Well, you know what? I'm still doing the podcast. You're on the podcast now, so.
All right. Well, good luck.
Okay, I'll tell you. Yeah, we'll be rolling in here in about maybe like 20 minutes or something.
15, 20, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Love you, man. Bye.
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours.
7.
2 hours. Wait, is that the Mexican 20 minutes?
So, where did you meet Chastler? Because I met Chastler like, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago.
I met him about that same time. He just walked into me and he goes, Litos. I go, you speak the word of Litos, the language that him and Randy Kagan talk, and it was like we hit it off immediately because actually his friend Randy Kagan is a great comedian. So we were like going tour, and then it was like meeting a duplicate of actually meeting him, my friend. Well, they talk the same language. We have the same lingo. You know, when you have sex with a girl, go, you know, that kind of shit. And
Yeah, we had a mutual friend, and we actually met years and years ago, but didn't spend a lot of time together. Him and Randy spent a lot of time together. And when Randy and I lived together, he would take all the antics happening at the Dud Ranch over to Pablo's house. So Pablo literally lived vicariously through all of us.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then I just ran into Pablo at the Improv, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, and I hadn't seen him in the longest fucking time, and I just gotten off the road at Swartzen.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
He was across the street.
Yeah.
From the Melrose. You go to his house, you get knowledge, you get confidence, you get
wine.
You get wine and Coca-Cola, you know, and the cigarette all you need. And, you know, a little bit chatterbait, but anyhow. And, yeah, you get good advice. You go to him, you get good advice, you know, and you need a good writer, you need someone to direct a film, he knows all those things. So it's good to go to him.
I met Chastler at a strip club, and the first thing he said to me is like, don't touch the ladies.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8
Awesome. So then we go over to Alan Lee, who did not perform, but you know Alan.
Yeah.
What do you think of Alan Lee?
Alan Lee, man, smooth cat, you know, pure confidence, always
Got it.
confident.
And the whole thing with me and the unknown comic is I'm moving in on his territory without the bag.
Do you remember the unknown
Remember the
comic?
unknown?
Yes, I do remember.
There.
We interviewed
Thank
you
you.
about him,
Yeah.
and then we said Alan Lee's going to come in with a bag over his head.
Really?
You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that. I was thinking, I'm learning to spill the water out of the eye. Like the unknown comic.
Because I remember on the podcast we were like goofingly, you know, shit talking Murray, and then Alan shows up. He's like, "Hey, Pablo," and then you're like, "Holy Lord!"
He had a special bag, you know, that's what he sweated.
Well, I'm getting them at Vons and Ralph.
Has the groceries in it already. You're the banana.
He's 5'4", 5'7", where you go?
He's naughty.
The other one.
And salt and pepper hair.
Yes.
Salt and Pepper. Remember that band? They're too little.
Yo, baby pops, yeah, you. Supersonic.
And now I guess it's my turn to be roasted with compliments. What did you think about the great Keith Reza?
Well, I think Keith went up there, he set up the premises very well. Then he would, talk about what was going on with him, and then talk about his name, which was, they got a short name. They put the last name in there. Keith, and the A-H, that means he means something, like that. Yeah, I thought the callbacks were good. And, yeah, I thought they were very good. I was just, I liked the little dance you did. That was a cool little dance. And, yeah, keep it going like that. Smile. Yeah, I think you got it. I think the closure was excellent.
Yeah,
Ralph Card, what was the Ralph? It was 17 cents on fucking, what was it?
17 cents off rat poison.
Yeah, rat poison. Yeah, does Ralph sell rat poison? Maybe,
Do you have a Ralph's card?
Yeah, Ralph's Card. Get the point. Put your number in. Yep, that is Walgreens. All right, yeah, Rite Aid, CVS. Some girl said, well, you want to go to CVS? You said, hey, we'll go to CVS and get some, Rite Aid on that CVS. Make down the Walgreens and we'll make it, we'll go to Edgar's. I don't know, maybe something like that. Maybe an Edgar's, Walgreens, East Side, I don't know, West Side Mall, West End.
And then the question I have is, because you go on the road, you do theaters mostly, but this is a comedy club that's very small and intimate. It holds 150. What are the pros of doing a club like this to you?
The fact that, well, it all depends on the city, and of course the city. And the way the club is set up, you got the acoustics, you see the wall, the lighting's perfect, there's space, you can walk in between, and I check you out from that side of the room, then, move over here.
Not a bad seat in the house.
Not a bad seat in the house. And it didn't sound like 150, it sounded like 250, it's great. The acoustics are great, and the food's awesome too. You can go to bowl if you want to bowl. Yeah, midnight bowling, yes, late night. Yeah, play Mrs. Pac-Man for 80 tokens.
Hey, like a Rudy.
Yeah, so yeah, I thought it was a great. It surprises me that clubs are like this out in Huntington or Irvine and stuff. You find out that these clubs have been rolling and going for fucking 10 years or so. But what's great too, you can go out and eat. And then come check out a comedy show, and in between shows, if you want to see a comic again, you want to bowl. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And I tell you, this place actually, this is my second time, or my third time here. This is the only comedy club in Orange County until you get to basically Oceanside or San Diego. Mm-hmm. So you guys are placed perfectly.
Yeah.
Location of this place is amazing.
Fantastic.
Yes,
yeah.
I was really impressed. But to go into the bathroom is a long haul.
Yeah. I remember I walked you to the bathroom because I didn't want people to talk to you because here's what happened. One time I booked Jamie Kennedy here, and Jamie Kennedy, and so he's walking around, right? And people are asking him for his autographs and pictures. He's like, he's being nice, he's doing it, but there's a show before.
Oh yeah, right.
And it's like I just got.
Was there a green room at the time or
no? There was. There's no bathroom in the green room.
Oh right.
So he got lost with the ladies. And I had to find him.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
He just got some game.
He's a sweet
one.
Yeah, but then we did. We're in London. We did these the fucking rock and roll fest, man. And you had fucking Goo Dolls in there. And in the middle of the damn festival, you go in a little dome, and it's me and Joe Coy doing a show. And outside, rock and roll. But I don't get it. Comedy in a dome. I mean, how do you get all the audience?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. But other than that, we went back into the town, and he was like, "What's up with your acting, man?" Because I'm doing the Horse Whisperer. And I go, "Okay." And he was doing the star of the Horse Whisperer at the time, and I go, "All right." He was a good guy, man. I always had good things to say. So
I just believe he did a good impression because I would never want to watch the Horse Whisperer.
The Horse Whisperer.
I feel like you nailed it.
When he was on the show,
Right.
I ran into him one night at the Improv, and my ex was his publicist for a long time, who you know. And we were just hanging out. I hadn't seen him in a while. And he was like,
points
what
to
are you
me
doing? I
like
told him
I
I was
know.
acting, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you want to come in and read for the show?
yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude. Jamie, he got me an audition.
Wow. Katie, what's going on? That's it.
No way! All right, next.
He speaks to the horses, or she speaks to the horses.
I don't get it. The dog whisperer.
I mean, even Caesar goes and visits the family. How was little Chichi? He was delicious. We ate him. Yes, he did good. Get up! And my dog eats its own poop. This is just gonna help you work it out.
Horse whisperer.
We should ask the ladies if they have any questions for you.
Ladies, you have any questions?
You got any questions for Pablo?
Keep it down! I'm sleeping in the stable over here.
You guys have any questions? This is your time.
Pablo, how big's your cock?
What's that? What?
I want to know how wide it is.
Hey,
Holy
well,
Lord.
hey, we gotta quit this.
Yeah, we gotta keep
Well, this
this.
period right now.
Children listen to this podcast. God.
Purpose car, can you answer that question? Jewish dogs.
You know, I want to check out Pablo's big dick right now, maybe.
Yeah, I'm a porn star now.
I'm Mexican, like I say.
What did I tell you? Winner, ink, put on the
I have a serious question.
Sure.
So, in your whole comedy career, who is the hardest comic, in your opinion, to follow?
Oh, God, that's okay. I would say, Encino was really hard to follow. Yeah.
Nobody, Pablo's a fucking legend.
No, that was there was another guy, the laugh character, but I couldn't follow him because he was like, hey everybody, he's like one of those, hey everybody, everything's cool, don't you love each other, kind of thing. Come on, round of applause to come out. You know, take all the love. I mean, the first time I was on stage, I was there for a long time. I didn't want to say thank you and give it up for her too. Yeah. What's your name? You're from Indiana? Give her a round of applause. Well, give yourself out a round of applause and come out and go in. All right, there you go.
Was it Dan Tosh?
No, not Daniel. Janine Garofalo was a hard one to follow.
You want to know why I think for me?
What?
Back in the day, and I'm one of these, like at this point now, I'm like, I can follow it, doesn't matter. You know, I'll tell you who, Charlie Fleischer.
Charlie Fleischer was a hard one.
Back in the day, Charlie Fleischer would come in and say, I'm going to do a 10-minute guest set. He'd do 50, then whip the harmonica out and do another 10, and then go, please, Eddie! And the crowd would scream, and then he'd go, all right, please welcome Rich Chassler.
Victor fucking lied to me then because he said that you said I didn't want to follow me.
I didn't say that. I just met Richard today.
Grudge match.
I was like, wow.
That's bullshit.
He's like,
Bullshit.
That's bullshit.
he's like massaging me. He's like, hey, Richard. I was like, why is he
I definitely
He'll lock you from here.
Real tough. That's right. Dude, I got a joke.
I'm gonna get blocked by Richard on Facebook for no reason. Because I didn't even say that. I just mentioned
Facebook is cool.
We all know Alan Lee's answer, the unknown comic. What about you, Victor?
What about unknown comic?
No, who's the hardest comic you had to follow?
Nobody. I've had a follow.
Holy Lord!
I've had a follow me on acid. That was hard. No, seriously, because in the lights they're giving you the fucking like side eye and shit when you're trying to tell your jokes.
Right.
That's the biggest heckler right there. The fucking lights.
Watch the ball. Listen, you answer the double put together in story. Sex, drugs, and Victor. This Friday night, the Grateful Dead do 10 minutes of stunning stand-up comedy.
No, I mean, I guess there isn't a name. There's just a type of comic that's hard for me to follow. Like,
Funny?
no. Fuck no. It's when they're not funny, but they're really good looking, and the crowd's like, oh my God, you're brilliant. And I'm just like, oh God, they're going to hate me.
So Richard Chastler?
Richard Chassler, yeah. I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't have to follow this Adonis. Jesus.
We want to respect your time, Pablo, so we got two more questions. Question number one. The last time we talked, you were saying that you had an idea of doing a podcast for Cyrus Radio. Sirius. What?
Well, yeah, they pushed me a while back.
Cyrus books the improv.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
Hey, Cyrus, come out and play. Cyrus. The warrior shot Cyrus.
No, one of the guys there, Ross Marshall, who was running the Jay McCarthy show, and we just went in there and we just goofed off, and he was like, hey man, if you're available, give us a call. So it was going to happen at that time, but I was doing another project right there. I was in a development deal, I think, with TriStar or some shit. And I said, okay, well, Ken won't be able to do that. And then he left there. So it's kind of weird how they were mixing up producers and trying to find shows, but they had like, the morning party show with Jim McCarthy. It's in the morning time.
Right.
It can't be a party show unless it's after, but still it was a funny show, but it was talked about, and then we went to pursue it, and then he took off, so it was kind of strange. He was there, but so we did our own podcast for a while, and it was called Anything Goes, and it was we do that shit, and it was fun, we just fuck around and hit every topic and talk about emails, but we stopped doing it for a while because a lot of people just we want 3 hours, and I was like, oh my god, and you didn't have too many.
3 hours.
Yeah.
My
so
Soupy
sponsors.
Sales?
It's Soupy Sales. Soupy Sales. So you have to make your own commercial.
Brought to you by Amazon. Make it every day your birthday. Amazon.
And you're hoping that Amazon bite, but So
I think we should do like a once a month Pablo podcast live at the Rec Room where you interview your friends, right?
Right.
And you out impression them.
I'm going to teach you how you went to the Arnold. Come on with my new foot. You can do it, kid. You can do that. Hold on, use that, and come back later. We'll work on it like you say.
Because I have a great impression of you.
You really?
Yeah, I do. You want to hear my impression of you?
Yeah, I got to hear your impression.
All right. So I would be like, hey, Pablo, can you tweet the show? Yeah, man, yeah. As soon as I hang up the phone with you, I'm going to hang up.
Hey, do that impression again, but don't look at Pablo in his eyes. Do it again. Do it again, but don't look at his eyes. No.
All of a sudden, Pablo turns into Judge Judy. Don't tell me you did that.
I tweeted you. I'm the boss.
Like, I'm the boss, applesauce.
No. Right there. Keep the police. What's the deal?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, why are you texting me all the time? I told you I'll retweet it.
Into Yahoo, into Facebook, I put you on MySpace, Two-Face, I put you on Fart Monkey, I put you on fucking Dump Truck, like to fucking finder. That's what I'm up to.
Anytime Pablo sounds like the happy guy in his act, yeah, man. when Pablo sounds like Mark Wahlberg without doing Mark Wahlberg, you know he's not going to do whatever.
I'll call you tomorrow. We'll hold you scratch.
Well, the last question I have for you is just life advice. If you could go out like to these two ladies, what is words of encouragement you would say for a life message that could hold them the rest
Always
of their
stay
life?
positive. Always, there's a lot of negatives that go into the positive that kind of makes sense. But always stay positive. There's always a way out. There always is a way out, unless you say the N-word and kill somebody. Then you're
Then you're Kevin Costner's movie. That's how
the Black Lives Matter. So big tits. Come on, it's all right.
Yeah, I guess my question was because my mom is an alcoholic, and I know that that's a demon.
Right.
You've but you're cured with it. So well, what's advice for that? Because like I love my mom very much.
Well, you gotta say it. It doesn't matter. Look, it doesn't matter how old you are, right? Just stop for 2 days, and if you listen, never ever think about. Don't use 5 years of what happened. All the bad memories keep calling back. You know what? I'm pretty sure what you did back then really hasn't damaged you. Really, you think it did. You had some bad moments. You know what? Get over it. All right. I'm pretty sure they're not as bad as you think they are. And you know what? Your mind starts clearing up. And when it clears up, don't feel bad. Oh, all these years that went by. You know what? You create those years. Create better ones. And people will respect you. And that's it. And always think this: if you're alcoholic, it's not your fault. It really isn't. But like I'm saying, look, it's there. Hey, just stop for a while. Give your organs a break. And tell that little bad thing on the other side that just trick them. Use the art of deception to your own self. And go, we'll drink tomorrow. We'll drink some other day. Maybe this weekend. Just figure out I've drank so many times. I mean, you've conquered it. You already conquered it. So just relax. And,
right.
If you go, I'm afraid I'm going to be bored. What am I going to do? It's okay. We'll see what happens. It's just a nap.
It's better to be bored and alive.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You got the internet too. So if you don't know it too well, then you ask somebody to show you. You
Get an
make it.
sketch.
No.
Yeah. You can be able to see get some side hustles, which is incredible. You'll be able to sell stuff, test out stuff while you sit there in the comfort of your home with a laptop.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to wrap it up. We'll go around the table where folks can follow you. Victor, where can the folks follow you?
They can go to HispanicTitanic.com, or they can go to Instagram, Twitter, and follow me at Puro Papi Pacheco, all one word, PuroPapiPacheco, or just go to HispanicTitanic.com. All that's available there.
All right, Alan Lee, where can the folks follow you?
You can find me on the dark web. No,
What the fuck?
Quiet.
Holy fuck.
No, you can find me on Facebook doing absolutely nothing. But it's always fine. You're welcome.
All right. Richard Chassler, where can the folks follow you?
They can follow me at and then at Richard Chassler, and my Twitter is at Funny Wino.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. So
And,
that's where you can follow me.
Yeah,
And last but not least, the
Pablo
great Pablo.
Our friend Pablo Francisco, VF, and then they just Twitter. Or just go to Google and just put my name out and see my schedules and everything else. And you'll be in your hand with all Steve.
All right. And you can follow me at Keith Reza. Subscribe, rate, and review to the show. 5 stars, or if you didn't like it, 1 star. Honest feedback's great. Pablo, I love you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Keith.
Chastler.
Thanks, Keith.
And Raise the Roofs live at the Rec Room. Yeah.
Hello, baby.
Thanks, guys, for staying.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.